Travel. It's the new love language. We're booking tickets, we're chasing the vibes, and we're putting pins on the map. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Adventure is sweet, but when things go wrong abroad, it's not the same as home. Today I'm joined by someone who knows this world inside and out, Nacine Morris-Brown, CEO of Tourpin Travel Agency. She sells more than tickets, she sells experiences. And along the way, she's learned why planning for the unexpected is just as important as packing the outfit. Nacine, welcome to Living Fully.
Thanks for having me, Cody.
Nacine, it seems like Jamaicans love traveling these days and it's like a cultural thing.
Most definitely.
From your perspective, when your clients come, and even from your perspective, what's the first thing people think about when planning for a trip?
I mean, it's destination. They're thinking about the outfits. It's just vibes. Like everything right now, it's social media and Insta worthy. And so, overall, the aesthetics is what everybody is about when it comes to a trip.
All right. So, Instagram shots is at the forefront of everybody's mind. They're thinking about the outfits.
Window seats.
Window seats. And they're thinking about the outfits. And they're thinking about the aesthetics. And they're thinking about the photos. All right. But you think about the logistics part of it.
Most definitely.
You think about not just logistics, but also logics.
Logics,
yes.
Because not only do I want my clients to have a great time, I want them to have a great time all while being covered, protected. So that's me on the back end there, speaking sense into them.
Okay, so now let's flip it. What do most people not think about before they fly out?
Definitely travel insurance. Definitely, there is this thing where persons may say, they don't want to speak certain things in the atmosphere, and so they reject travel insurance. They reject thinking that incidents and accidents can happen because you don't want to quote unquote jinx your trip, and then because of that, persons shy away from insurance and rely on and become naive, for lack of even a better way to express it.
It's actually something that hasn't been sold, I'd say. Like life insurance is like everywhere. And everybody talk about life insurance, but like travel insurance, that's like on the back burner.
I mean, so all right, so for me, insurance overall, and since we're going to get into insurance, right, and we're going to try to educate people even now concerning travel insurance, let's do the serious part, right? What is insurance? Because I feel like a lot of people don't even understand what insurance is. So I like to put things in layman terms. So when a client comes to me, I'm like, here what? Insurance, it's a financial agreement that you have where you pay money. The money is referred to as a premium, right? And your premium is subject to the type of coverage that you're seeking. So in exchange for the money that you pay, the provider will say, okay, I'll offer you coverage in the event this or that happens. Now, travel insurance is insurance that would deal with the travel aspect of all of that, which was just said.
And this goes for any trip.
Any trip.
It doesn't have to be what people probably think. Oh, you're going overseas to live for a while or work for a while, but like any trip.
Any trip. So any trip that you're booking, once it is that you're living out of the country, you can get travel insurance. Travel insurance covers a lot of things, right? So we're talking about if your bag gets lost. We're talking about if there's an act of God, a storm comes, your flight gets delayed, your hotel decide that, listen, we're not giving you back your money. We don't really care about that. Your insurance provider is who you go to for that. You want to have that sense of security when it is that you're traveling. And then it gets even more serious. We can even, there was this viral video going around on social media where this person died on their trip, and nobody wants to think about that. You don't want to think that you're going to get sick, and in fact, who even wants to think that they're going to die? But the person died, right? In most cases, travel insurance can cover repatriation to your home country, right? Okay. And so that's an important thing to think about because it can happen. That's why they're called accidents. It's oftentimes not planned.
You can't just run to a local clinic overseas.
No,
you can't. Okay, so that means this covers that as well. Talk to me about what does it cover? All
right, so let me share a true story. So I've gotten sick on a trip twice. I've gotten sick locally And of course, I had my local insurance. So I went to the clinic and I ran my test. I went overseas and I was like, as a travel provider, as someone who says, it's important to get the insurance, I was like, it's just a little short trippy trip, so it don't even matter. I'm just going to go. I'll be back in a jiffy. Lo and behold, I got sick on that trip and I had to go to, in the US, they call it the urgent care. We call it out here like the ER or the emergency room, right? When I went there, they did like some minor tests. In Jamaica, probably that bill would have cost me like $20,000. When they sent that bill to me in the mail, my bill was $3,000 US. So we're talking about almost $500,000 depending on what the exchange rate is. And I can tell you, one of the worst things is to not only be sick away from home, but also to have to worry about the financial aspect of that, right? So insurance is important because it takes away that financial burden or that load off of you while it is that you're away.
So basically you're saying without travel insurance and something happens, that can literally wipe out your savings.
That can wipe out your savings. They always tell you one of the fastest way to deplete your savings is to get sick. Just get sick, and all of what you thought you were saving for, it's just gone. And your health usually comes first, because if it is that you're not well, then you can't really perform. And then because you can't perform, you're doing all that you can so that you can get back to what you consider normal life.
These insurance, is it short-term coverage?
It's usually short-term coverage. So it's as need.
Okay,
basis.
so if you're gonna go, you can get it before.
You get it before you go.
Okay. And this is not something that you need to pay consistently.
You don't need to. Not necessarily. It depends on what provider that it is that you're using. But right now we're talking about FFK, right? And we're gonna make it their problem when we're on a trip, because I wish that it was somebody else's problem. Like I never needed to spend my $3,000 to pay for anything. That needs to be an insurance provider's burden, right? So it depends on the type of coverage that you're seeking. But oftentimes it's just a one-off payment that you pay the premium, and they say, okay, this is what it covers, and subject to maybe different tiers of coverage.
All right, so it's Spartan at FFK. International health and life coverage means that you're not stranded.
You're not stranded.
Okay.
You're taken care of. Your health is their problem. It's their business.
So Nacine, take me back to your story. You said you got sick overseas that cost you a whopping $3,000 that you had not planned for.
No.
And this was while you were a travel agent, right?
This is while I was a travel agent.
So this was a learning curve for you.
Exactly.
So how did it shape moving forward and for your clients as well?
I mean, so moving forward, it's just like I was even having a conversation with my sister, and I was like, this cannot reach me again. It was like I was a hypocrite. I was living a lie, because here I am saying, oh, it's just a short trip, when you're telling customers, no matter the extent of your trip, ensure that you have this. And then I went ahead and made the same mistake.
So after that, how do you explain this importance to your clients? Is it something that you really tell them your story? Make it a little bit personal?
Most definitely, right? For me, I'm an open book, and I don't just do regular travel. I have gone into selling a premium service. So when it comes to myself and my clients,
it's included?
Is it included? No, the travel insurance is not included. That's separate, but you sell it to them, right? But for me, I am an open book when it comes to my client. That's a part of the premium service. So I'm telling them my story. I'm making it relatable, because some of the times persons feel as though you're selling something that you yourself don't even believe in, or you don't even have any experience, like to really relate it to them. So in relating it to persons, you realize that they become more receptive into buying into insurance.
And how long have you been a travel agent now?
I've been a travel agent since 2019.
And since that time till now, how many of your clients have actually taken on insurance coverage, travel insurance?
All right, I don't have a set number right offhand, but maybe like a 50-50, because some persons, no matter how much you sell it to them,
they still don't want it.
They're just like, it is what it is, and they don't want you to jinx their trip, or they don't want to overthink certain things. So persons think about every single detail except coverage. because nobody wants an accident to happen.
Would you say it's the hardest part of your job, trying to get people to understand that, the importance of travel insurance? Would you say that's the hardest part?
I mean, no, because it all boils down to personal decision. I mean, I'm not gonna be an "I told you so" person, but in the event something happens, I'm gonna be like, "Wow, you really should have just done what was right." Control. So my advice to persons is control whatever you can control. So if it is that you are able to receive an insurance coverage, right, to make your trip go better. If it is that you can purchase a small premium just to help to cover certain things because you never know what can happen, then why not? Then take it.
What are some of the things that could go wrong, aside from you having this massive bill? This is something that falls on
So let me talk about ripple
other
effect.
people, right?
Let me talk about ripple effect, right? I have seen situations where persons, let's say, they booked their trip to the US. This person would be considered a healthy person,
right?
And they go over there and they get sick and they go to the ER and they get the bill and they're unable to cover it. When it is that the person is traveling and next time, because they have not paid that bill, their visa got revoked.
Wow.
Right? And when your visa get revoked, you're talking about being banned from the US for 5 to 10 years. So we're not even just talking about how it affects you in this moment, right? But it can have a long-term effect. So why not make it somebody else's problem? Why not make it FFK's problem? Like, pay the little premium and get the big coverage and enjoy your trip. Move on with your day. In the event anything happens, then you know that you're covered, and that's one less stress. That's one less thing to worry about.
All right. What advice would you give to not just your clients, but travelers in general? Because we started the episode. People think about the aesthetics, the outfits, the photos. What's one advice you would give to everybody who loves traveling or aspiring travelers? What would you say?
Control what you can control, because accidents are called accidents because they're accidents. They are not planned, oftentimes not foreseen, and just when you think it cannot be you, it just might be you.
What's the coverage like though for travel insurance?
When you say what it's like, I mean, it depends. It depends on the tier that
Because
you
I know
want.
that there are many people who would say, I just want to take the trip. I didn't plan for all of this additional expense.
Most travel insurance covers if your bag gets lost, which is very common, if your trip gets delayed, which is very common, and also if it is that there are any cancellations in between, and also health benefits. So in the event you have a medical emergency, in the event of death, most travel insurance covers repatriation.
And this is not just for big trips. This is not just for if you're going on, they call it H2B, work and travel.
Even if you're going on H2B, even if you're just going on a short trip, a business trip, like just 3 days going back, employers, get travel insurance for your staff.
Yes.
Get travel insurance for your staff.
Okay, so this is for everybody. So you're going to visit your auntie and your uncle in New York and Florida for 3 days, 2 days, get travel insurance. Okay. Nacine, travel with the same energy that you live with. Vibes plus protection. That's one of the messages that I'm getting from you. Travel with the same energy. Vibes plus protection. Peace of mind.
Give the same vibes to insurance.
Yeah.
Give the same vibes to insurance, because the moment something goes south, all your vibes broke. When it is that you have to think about all the money you're gonna have to spend. I never knew that it could have been me.
It's like a ripple effect. Like one thing about it, and then something else talk about it, and then something else talk about it, and then your whole entire trip just ruined.
You have to call John Tom and everybody, because remember now, people are traveling as a lifestyle, even with their last dollar, because everybody is just about enjoy. Like, we're in an enjoyment culture. So can you imagine you spend your last, you haven't included insurance in your trip budget. That's another advice as well. Include travel insurance in your trip budget, Because you don't want to have to be calling John Tom and John Doe and depending on everybody to take care of you when you're sick. And let's say you have an emergency surgery or whatever it is that needs to be done, and you cannot accumulate the funds. Not every country. Remember, I have heard of persons who visit Jamaica, gone to a hospital, and they can't get treated because they have to have the money up front. Luckily in the US, right, they have a policy where you cannot be refused care. You just get the bill after the fact. So it will range from country to country. You don't want to go to a country where the first thing they're going to ask you is, are you insured? Do you have travel insurance before they even touch you? Because you don't know how serious your situation or your case might be.
That's scary.
Super scary.
Yeah. What are some of the craziest things you've ever heard clients say to you when you mention travel insurance or misconception?
But everybody just believes nothing is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, don't jinx my trip. Don't speak no bad energy into the atmosphere. A full jar with self. When I think about that, when I think about no. As simple as food poisoning. You know how many persons experience food poisoning from a hotel's buffet? So much cross-contamination can occur. Like, people don't think, it can be just the simplest of things and you end up at the hospital.
I understand the whole, oh, drinks, because it's how we grow up, You ever hear like your parents say, yeah, go up mouth. Go up mouth. Why you say don't say that? Don't put it out there. Don't let anybody hear that.
So they don't want you to put it out there, and so we end up becoming naive to, the fact that these things can happen. So it's not, we don't want to be naive and we're not jinxing it. We're being smart.
Right.
We're exercising wisdom.
Yeah.
Right? And wisdom supersedes all. We have to be mindful.
And what's one of the saying we always hear? Prevention better than cure. Right? So if you plan, that is better, and you'll enjoy your trip. You know that if something should go right, if something should go wrong, I'm good, I'm covered. Yeah, but as I've said earlier, travel insurance is actually something that I hardly hear about.
Yeah.
It's mainly for public corporations or people who are going on a longer trip, like a work and travel kind of situation.
And I mean, to be honest, in the space, the truth is that because there was a time when I didn't even mention travel insurance. It was always optional, right? But as you grow, you increase in knowledge and wisdom. And so when it is that to whom much is given, much is required. So I feel like once you know a thing and the importance of it, it's important to apply that knowledge.
I feel like a lot of people don't apply it until they personally experience it.
Yeah.
Something has to hit home first before people understand what other people have been saying.
And there is that. But why we always want to
experience it first hand?
Like, experience.
Why you can't see somebody else and just be like, I don't want that to happen to me? No. Yeah.
We have to learn from other people's stories, and as I said, it just when you think that it can't be you, it just might be you.
Yeah. Or
sickness
you are the one who is keeping somebody and it fall on you.
Yeah.
So it's not just you. Yeah, you're the host. And somebody come visit you and now they're a burden to you.
And it look bad upon you if you say you can't help them.
Yeah.
Or what? Like, why you didn't take travel insurance? You mean you don't have any coverage? Like, be for real.
So it's kind of act of selflessness, basically. You don't want to be a burden to other people.
Consider yourself and consider others.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a game, Nacine. It's called Safe or Sorry.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you a few questions and you let me know. Safe? Sorry. Skip. Okay.
Right. I'm ready.
Flying without checking if your health plan covers you overseas.
Sorry. That's a sorry situation. You need to know and plan ahead.
Booking the all-inclusive resort but not booking coverage for emergencies.
Sorry. No, it's sorry for you. It's a sad it's such a sad situation. All right, I could have found the money to cover my bill, right? But what if it was another story, right? What if it was somebody who was just in a position where they just could not pay? We're talking about a ripple effect, and not only just that, that can't feel good. It cannot feel good. What if you have additional things to do, prescriptions to get and stuff like that, which comes after the fact, right? what are you gonna do? You're just in a foreign country and sick. You're probably gonna have to start a GoFundMe. Like, be for real.
All right, Nacine, thank you for sharing your truth with us today.
You're welcome.
And to you watching, travel is beautiful, but it's also unpredictable. When you're covered, you're free to enjoy it without worry. Emphasis on free to enjoy without worrying, okay? I'm Codian, your host, and this is Living Fully, presented by FFK, solving tomorrow's problems today. See you next time.